ठीक है. सुन रहे. Good afternoon. Vanakkam. Now today is the second episode of our series of the one-day workshop. Subject: Back to Nature, Terrace Gardening. This is the series of the workshop, you know. When it will be completed, I don't know. Because subject is very vast. What the challenges are standing as a challenge in front of human being. All these challenges are not created by the God, are not created by the nature, are created by human. Specifically, one highly intellectual class of the human, is responsible to create the problems in front of human being and earth. And these so-called highly intellectuals are not having any solution to solve these problems. That is the real tragedy. So many analysts in print media, electronic media, social media, they are giving continuous articles, continuous speeches, books, only analysis. No solution. They are giving. Then how we will survive? That is the question. In last episode, we have seen that corona crisis is intensifying again and again. We have seen this coronavirus is changing the form by internal mutation continuously in a new form. alpha, beta, delta, delta plus, and then lambda, and then new strains of the viruses are coming speedily. To change the form, we can say this RNA corona, ribonucleic acid corona, is a unit of four amino acids which are situated in specific sequence number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. It is a natural sequence given by the God. You know, coronaviruses or any other strains of this coronavirus, pathogenic bacteria, funguses, or all other pathogens which are responsible for the variable diseases, they came with us on the earth. The God has sent. Even when the God has sent us on the earth, God said, on the earth you are not alone. There is a huge biodiversity of the living beings with you. And everybody will symbiote to each other. Symbiotic to each other. And God warned to human, if you will not attack these living beings, viruses, bacteria, funguses, and animals and birds will not attack you. Because you all living beings are to be resided unitedly symbiotic with symbiotic nature. Since millions of the year, coronaviruses, pathogenic bacteria, harmful funguses are residing in our body. Since millions of the year. They did not become harmful to human, but they were symbiotic. Always they were living in recessive mode, in slept mode. They were not becoming dominant or active. And also they were not becoming violent. Why they become violent now? That is the question. Why they become violent? Because what the God has assured them that you go on the earth, everything will well designed for your best health. when you will enter on the earth, air will be clean, transparent, pollution free. Air quality index will remain below 20, will not increase above 20. The proportion of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will remain below 260 to 280 ppm, parts per million, will not raise above 20 to 80 ppm, will not. In the air, there will be no any pollutants. Air will be pollutant free. And air will be transparent. Hundreds of the kilometer space will become visible by our own eyes because air will be clean. Solar energy will also be clean. The intensity of the solar light will not raise above 7,000 foot candle. But the intensity of the solar light will remain below 7,000 foot candle, in the range of 5,000 to 7,000 foot candle. The sun rays will come. There will be no any pollution in the sun rays of radioactive radiations coming from cosmos and ultraviolet rays coming from cosmos. There will be no pollution in the sunlight of radioactive radiations and ultraviolet rays. Everything will be clean. Drinking water will be highly pollutant free, transparent, fresh, with high quantity of the BOD. Oxygen, dissolved oxygen level will be normal in the water. Everything will be natural. And when everything will be natural, then no question is raised of global warming and climate change. Now, what is the situation? You know, for best health of the human being, disease-free health, air quality index should be remain below 30. When air quality index is increased above 50, in between 50 to 100, somewhat troublesome for human respiration, somewhat slight. When the air quality index is remained in between 101 to 150, maybe increase in the current disease for sensitive persons. These are the findings, scientific findings. When the air quality index will remain in between 150 to 200, air is become harmful. Increase the respiratory diseases as epidemic diseases like corona more dangerous for human health. When the air quality index will increase above 150, in between 150 to 200. When the air quality index will remain between 201 and 300, air is too much harmful to human health, affected seriously to sensitive persons. When the air quality index will enhance above 300 to 500, then air is highest harmful, become responsible for death of human, birds, and also the animals. That means if we want medicine-free life, human life, disease-free human life, we want air quality index below 30. On 15th of the November 2017, I was at New Delhi at that time for my meeting with Niti Aayog. 3 days in my Delhi residence, I have seen highly polluted air in New Delhi. 15th of the November 2017. Air quality index was increased above 517. And 3rd of the November 2018 at New Delhi, it was above 600. Air quality index we want below 30, and now air quality index is increasing above 600, 20 times more than natural level. This much quantity of the pollutants are dissolved in the air. Air is become highly polluted. One print media at New Delhi has taken the survey of Delhi people that a huge increase in the bronchitis, cough, asthma during this 1 month in New Delhi. What is your opinion? Are you willing to reside at New Delhi or you want to leave New Delhi? That survey said that 40% Delhi people immediately said we are willing to leave New Delhi forever. We want to survive. We do not want to die with this highly polluted air. And this is called so-called development. You know, New Delhi, a mega city, a huge population at New Delhi, and millions of the cars, two-wheelers, trains, trucks, auto, tempo, millions of them. Since morning to second morning, 24 hours, are running on the roads of New Delhi and every city. And when the car vehicles are going on, these vehicles emit huge quantity of the greenhouse gases and pollutants in the atmosphere after burning of diesel and petrol. In New Delhi, people are less, vehicles are more. Mumbai also. Every day, how much pollutants are coming in the air? Who is responsible? So-called Western type of the development. Somebody said, now we are starting electric cars, electric vehicles in India. So diesel, petrol will not required. Every vehicle will run on only electric. Okay. When all vehicles will run on the electrical charges, state pollution will be stopped. What about electricity? Everybody will recharge the vehicle with electricity. There will be huge demand of the electricity. Huge demand. And due to that huge demand, to develop the electricity, huge quantity of the thermal power station will be increased. Huge quantity. You know, maximum electricity generated by burning the coal in the thermal power station. Maximum. Very minimum electricity is generated from atomic energy power plant or wind power. In the thermal power station now, 136 thermal power stations are existed in India today. When all vehicles will run on electricity, there will be a huge demand of electricity, and new thermal power station will be launched. And huge quantity of the coal will be burned. When coal is burned in the thermal power station, the smoke is emitted. Huge quantity. In that smoke, which are the pollutants? Fly ash. Very light particles of the ash, they are exhausted. Smoke, carbon microparticles of the carbon, heavy metals, because in the coal there are huge quantities of heavy metals, cadmium, arsenic, chromium, nickel, lead, zinc, and mercury. Huge quantity. The asbestos dust, small particles from gitti industry, for building material industry. In cotton ginning industry, huge quantity of the small threads of the lint is exhausted in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide, methane, and very small, very minute micro dust particles which are having 1 to 100 micron. They are exhausted 2.5 micron per square per cubic feet area, cubic meter area are exhausted. And that means actually those vehicles will run on electricity. They will not pollute the air directly, but indirectly, huge pollution of the dust particles and greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and all other particles will be exhausted in the atmosphere, and ultimately air will be polluted in high level. In the big city, maybe vehicles are running on electricity, but vehicles are running and noise pollution. Noise pollution. And when the vehicles start to run by the wheels, a dust particle is exhausted in high quantity in the atmosphere. 2.5 pm or 10 pm. Maybe variable dust particles. In the big cities, Urbanization is going fast. New buildings, new malls, new societies, and new infrastructures are developed speedily. This urbanization rate is very high, very high, unbelievable. And when construction building industry start to build up any infrastructure, they want bricks, cement, steel, water, wood, and vehicles for transportation. The brick manufacturing industry, you go and see there, huge quantity of the smoke emitted in the atmosphere by burning the coal. Cement manufacturing industries, steel industries are emitting huge quantity of smoke in the atmosphere every day. And air is highly polluted. While construction of the buildings and infrastructure, the dust particle of the cements, when the bricks are cut down, again the dust particles, cuttings, and construction, huge quantity of the dust particles are exhausted in the atmosphere. Even when we use so many commodities, since morning when we'll get up and evening when we'll go to sleep, when we use these all commodities in our daily life, the manufacturing industries of these commodities are emitting huge quantity of the greenhouse gases, dust particles in the atmosphere every day. Directly, industry is responsible. Indirectly, we people are responsible. Because we are demanding, then they are manufacturing. If we will not demand, they will not manufacture. Early morning, corporation all roads are clean and huge dust particles are exhausted in the air. The corporation workers are collecting the fallen leaves of the trees on the both sides of the roads, and they are burning that biomass every day morning. What are the leaves are fallen down of the trees, bushes on the roadside of the cities are collected and burned. Huge quantity of the greenhouse gases and dust particles are exhausted in the air every day. Every day. Due to these human activities, air is so polluted, and not even the dust particles, so many harmful chemical particles are coming in the atmosphere. So many gases, dust particles, fumes, mist, soot, tar, vapors, suspended particles, and main agriculture pollutants are sulfur dioxide in huge quantity, nitrogen oxides, hydrogen fluides, and peroxyacetyl nitrates, ozone, hydrocarbons, ethylene, ammonia, and all other suspended particulated matter. And it is highly polluted. It is highly polluted. We will decide, because what I am giving the clarification, this pollution is strictly related to corona and other deathful diseases. Sulfur dioxide is the main pollutant in the air. 90%, 90, sulfur dioxide, SO2, is coming from the industries. Number one. Number two, by burning the diesel and petrol. Number three, by metallurgical process and volcanoes. These are the sources of sulfur dioxide pollution in the atmosphere. And when we take the air while our breathing, this sulfur dioxide is entering in our body, and we suffer by breathing causes just like chlorosis, plasmolysis, and membrane damage. And when sulfur dioxide, SO2, and sulfur trioxide, SO3, both are reacted with the water, sulfurous acid is created, and sulfuric acids also. And these acids in the atmosphere, in the air, when they enter in our body, in our nose, in our eyes, they damage our eyes, nose, and throat. Sulfur dioxide, 90% is emitting in the atmosphere by industries to manufacture to those commodities which are used by us in our daily activities. World Health Organization, WHO, says, claim that when the sulfur dioxide proportion in the air will remain in between 10 to 50 micron per cubic meter air, then that proportion is not harmful. That is safe. 6th of the November 2019 at New Delhi, the sulfur dioxide proportion in the air, New Delhi air, was above 294.5 micron per cubic meter air. How much? We want below 50, and in the air above than 290, that means near about 300 micron. How many times? How many times? 6 times more, 7 times more. How we will face corona problem? Oxides of the nitrogen also are polluting the air. Nitrogen monoxide and nitrogen dioxide, NO and NO2. These both, nitrogen monoxide and nitrogen dioxide, are polluting 10% air. That means these two gases are 10% in the air. Nitrogen oxide is formed from the atmospheric nitrogen by lightning in the clouds, by natural ionizing radiations, and fossil fuel burning and volcanoes, and also urea and chemical fertilizers. Oxides of the nitrogen are coming in the atmosphere speedily. Simultaneously with the nitrogen monoxide and nitrogen dioxide, peroxyacetyl nitrates, nitric acids, ammonium nitrates, nitrogen monoxide, and nitrogen dioxide are also is coming in the air continuously by the industries and human activities. WHO says, World Health Organization, when the proportion of nitrogen oxide in the air will remain below 1 ppm, then okay, no problem, no problem. But when the proportion of nitrogen oxides will enhance above 1 ppm up to 2 ppm, lungs will be damaged. Damage of the lungs will be started. When nitrogen oxide proportion in the atmosphere will in between 5 to 20 ppm, eye and nose irritation will be started. When the proportion of nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere will remain in between 20 to 50 ppm, pulmonary discomfort will be started. It is highly sensitive. And when the proportion of nitrogen oxides in the air will remain in between 50 to 100 ppm, the swelling of the lungs will be started. Swelling of the lungs. Lungs will damage highly. And when nitrogen oxide proportion will remain in between 100 to 150. It will cause bronchitis, asthma, starting of the asthma, bronchitis, fibrosa, and obligerance. It is the first stage of asthma, bronchitis, and lungs cancer. And when proportion of nitrogen oxides will enhance above 150, you will face asthma, bronchitis, emphysema, and lung cancer. Lung cancer. Lungs will be damaged very seriously. Very seriously. That means at any cost, the proportion of nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere should remain below 1 ppm. What is the reality? 6th of the November 2019. I was at New Delhi at that time. New Delhi. Nitrogen oxide in the air was 168.2 micron per cubic meter air. We want below 1 ppm. And it become 168. How much pollution we have done in the atmosphere by our daily activities. And nitrogenous fertilizer and chemical fertilizers and industries are main sources to emit the nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere. Subhash Palekar is not claiming, it is claimed by scientists. Oxides of the carbon, maybe carbon monoxide, maybe carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide are emitted in the atmosphere by chemical farming, cow dung based, manual based farming, go adharit kushi, organic farming, Vedic farming, burning of the fuel, firewood burning, smoking, BD industries, power plant houses, automobiles, animal release by respiration, and decay of organic matter. These are the main sources of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide emission. Very highly poisonous, harmful gases. And this carbon monoxide is very harmful. What happened? When carbon monoxide combined with hemoglobin, when we take the air by breathing, carbon monoxide is entering our body, and this entire carbon monoxide will combine with the hemoglobin in our blood, reduce oxygen carrying capacity of hemoglobin. Reduce oxygen carrying capacity of the hemoglobin, reduce vision, and we suffer nervous systems and cardiovascular disorders, ultimate death also. When carbon monoxide proportion in the blood, in our human blood, when the carbon monoxide level will become below 5 ppm, 5 ppm parts per million, then okay, no harmful. It is acceptable. When carbon monoxide level will enhance above 400 ppm to 705 ppm, respiratory system is failure. Lungs are damaged. And now carbon oxides, specifically carbon monoxide proportion in atmosphere is enhanced above 800. How we will survive from corona? That is my question. That is my question. Hydrocarbons are coming in the atmosphere continuously. Methane, ethylene, benzene. And these hydrocarbons, methane, ethylene, and benzene, main emitting sources are automobile industries, automobiles, chemical and organic farming, burning of the residues, and industries. And just we have explained, New Delhi, Pune, Chennai, Kolkata, big cities, mega cities, and even in the small cities also. Human population is less and vehicle population more. And millions of the vehicles are running on the roads. And huge quantity of the hydrocarbons are coming in the atmosphere. Delhi. Chemical farming, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, fungicides are the main emitter of hydrocarbons. Organic farming, cow dung manure, compost, vermicompost, biodynamic, non-edible oil cakes, and organic fertilizers. When we use the huge quantity of the hydrocarbons are coming in the air, and when we respire, these hydrocarbons are entering our body. And when these hydrocarbons are entering in human body, reduce the white blood cell level in the blood and cause blood cancer. Again, I will repeat. When these hydrocarbons, which are exhausted in the atmosphere by chemical farming, organic farming, go adharit kushi, cow dung manure, and panchagavya, dashagavya, and all these emitters, the Agnihotra and Nadev, and all these industry, automobiles, burning of the residues of the crop. And when we respire, these hydrocarbons are entering in our body and they reduce white blood cells. White blood cells are the body's security force. They face with the diseases, they fight with the diseases, and they keep our body away from the diseases. And these white blood cells in the blood quantity is reduced because they are damaged, and we face blood cancer. Why blood cancer is increased continuously? Who is responsible? Tell me. Who is responsible? We people. Those who are practicing chemical farming, organic farming, biodynamic farming, Vedas farming, They are utilizing inputs and emitting huge quantity of the dust, smoke, greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Global warming and climate change and pollution in the atmosphere in high quantity, and ultimate blood cancer. Even our air is polluted by radioactive radiations also. Our subject is medicine-free human life, medicine-free, disease-free human life, pollution-free air, atmosphere, pollution-free water. This is our target. These radioactive radiations continuously are coming in the atmosphere and air is polluted. What are the sources? Cosmic rays. Cosmic rays coming through the cosmos. Stars, galaxies, huge stars, and the huge cosmos. These radioactive radiations are coming on the earth and air is polluted. Second source is radioactive material in rocks. In rock also there are so many radioactive elements, just like radium, uranium, thorium, radon, potassium, carbon, nuclear. All these are existed in the rocks. And when the rocks are disintegrated or are broken down, the huge quantity of the radioactive elements are emitting in the air through the soil, because soil also a main source for the emission of the radioactive elements, because the silica particles and rock particles, when they split by air, water and sunlight, ultimately the radioactive elements are released and coming in the atmosphere. Which are these radioactive elements? Radium 224, uranium 235, uranium 238, thorium 232, radon 222, potassium 40, carbon 14. These are the variable radioactive elements. Highly poisonous. Nuclear power plants emitting huge quantity of the radioactive elements. Thermal power station through the fly ash every day. Huge quantity of these radioactive elements are emitted in the atmosphere. Even through thermal power station, huge quantity of the water is required. Huge quantity of the water is required. And the water becomes so hot during thermal power generation. To cool the plant, water is required. water become too much hot, and that hot water is coming in the rivers, and the temperature of the hot water, river water is increased, dissolved oxygen is reduced, and fishes are died. Dead zones are created in the rivers and ponds by these so-called thermal power stations. And now, because of the electric vehicles, thermal power station number of thermal will be increased. And when these radioactive elements are coming in the atmosphere, and when we take the air inside our body by respiration, these radioactive elements are entering in our body, human body. And what happened? What happened? Damage genetic structure. Our DNA is damaged by these radioactive radiations and elements. May cause cancer due to the damage of DNA or genetic structure of the DNA. Human can suffer by cancer, shortening of the life. If you are 100-year life, you will not live above 60. Shortening of the genetic mutation, new strains of the corona, genetic mutation, alpha, beta, delta, delta plus, lambo, and all the every day. Radioactive elements and radioactive radiations. Damage to DNA and RNA. Impotency and infertility in the human being. You see, fallopian tube in the woman is closed. So sperm and is not fertilized in the ovary because fallopian tube is not open. It was not happen in the past. Now it is going very speedily. And when father and mother are meeting together, during their meeting, sperms are entering in the ovary, but due to the fallopian tube, they are not fertilized in the ovary. Impotency and infertility, the main problem. There was no test tube baby hospital, no. Now every road test tube baby hospital. Test tube baby hospital. Monthly course for female women above 16 years. Monthly course, MC course was started above 16-year-old, not below. Now 10th year girl facing monthly course problem. It is abnormality, unnatural, unbelievable, unbelievable. Highly polluted water, climate change, highly polluted air, radioactive elements and radiations. Understood? Human activities are responsible. Which countries are more responsible for air pollution and carbon emission, greenhouse gases? China contribute 29%. 29% China, number one. Superpower America, 13% only. 13. India, 7%. Russia, 4.6% carbon emission. China emitting carbon dioxide 120% more than America, 400% more than India, and 600% more than Russia. It is called development. It is called development, so-called Western type of development. Just I have clarified urbanization. Millions of the hectare of crop land are merged in the cities. Green forests are cut down and cement forests are raising. Huge buildings, roads, malls, industries. It is called development. It is called growth rate of economy. Urbanization speedily going on. Growth rate of urbanization in India in 1951, 70.21%. After 10 years, in 1961, 17.97%, slightly enhanced. After 10 years, in 1971, 19.71%, somewhat boosted. In 1981, 23.34%. In 1991, when the globalization was started, 25.72%. In 2001, 27.78%. And 2020, 40%. How much growth rate of urbanization is increased? Ultimately, the pollution of the air is increased. Greenhouse gases emission in the atmosphere is increased. Ultimately, growth rate of economy is increased, definitely, but global warming is increased. Climate is changed speedily and with harmful impact, and it is so polluted that we can't survive. The dust particle in the atmosphere, flying particles in the atmosphere, in the air, 2.5 pm, 2.5 pm particles, when the proportion of 2.5 pm म्हणजे particulated matter, that means PM 2.5 proportion will remain 60 micron, below 60 micron, and PM10 particles will remain below 100 micron, then okay. That air is not harmful for human life. No, respiration is okay. November 2017, New Delhi, 2.5 pm particles proportion was above than 779 micron. We want below 60 micron. And proportion 979 micron. Near about 15 times more than natural level. And all these dust particles are coming in our lungs when we take the breath. World Health Organization claim that when the proportion of sulfur dioxide will remain in between 10 to 50 micron per cubic meter air, no harmful. Okay. The sulfur dioxide level in the air below 50 is okay, acceptable. 6th of November 2019, I was at New Delhi also. Delhi. The proportion of sulfur dioxide was enhanced about 294.5 micron. Oh, 6 times more than natural level. God has assured that air will not be polluted. Now, we are not giving assurance to the God that air is not polluted. When the nitrogen oxide proportion in the air will remain below 1 ppm, okay, it is okay, permissible and not problematic for human health. But when nitrogen oxide proportion will enhance above 150 ppm, then we face asthma, bronchitis, lung cancer and death. 9th of November 2019 at New Delhi, the nitrogen oxide proportion was enhanced above 168 micron per cubic meter air. We want below 1 ppm and proportion 160. We can't survive. We can't restrict corona at any cost. When proportion of oxides of the carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, will remain, carbon monoxide proportion will remain 5 ppm, below 5 ppm. Okay, it is permissible, no harmful. But when carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, specifically carbon monoxide proportion will enhance above 400 to 700 ppm, our respiratory system will become failure. And we will search out where the oxygen cylinder. Today, oxide of the carbon contained in the atmosphere enhance above 800 ppm. How we can survive? That is my question. How we will survive? That is my question. That means what we have done, it is unbelievable. And again, When these gaseous pollutants in the air, I have clarified now, when these gaseous pollutants and heavy metals, cadmium, arsenic, mercury, lead, coming from the chemical fertilizers, organic fertilizers, and compost, vermicompost, cow dung manure, when these gaseous pollutants, heavy metals are enter in the plant through the stomata and roots, which disrupt photosynthetic process. Photosynthesis process is damaged, respiratory system is damaged, and also biochemical and structural systems also become failure. And finally, affect the quantity and quality of the crop with or without showing physical disorders, specifically vegetable crops. Not only human health is damaged by this air pollution, crops also are damaged, specifically vegetables, in high level by this polluted air. Another form of SO2 sulfur dioxide create acid rain and damage crop. Acid rain and damage crop. Acid rain damage spinach, fenugreek, mustard, cauliflower, tomato, and all other vegetables. Once it is entered in the leaf through the stomata, decreases photosynthesis, damage chloroplast in the cell, and reduce the production. Not only human being is damaged, even crops also damaged by air pollution, which I have clarified now. And pollutants from the chemical fertilizer, insecticide, fungicide, and biopesticides are coming in the atmosphere as a pollutant. Efficiency of nitrogen fertilizer use only 40%, phosphate 20%, micronutrient 22%, potash 50%. When you utilize fertilizer in the soil, 60% fertilizer are deposited in the soil, are not taken by roots. 80% phosphates are become stable in the soil, are not utilized by the roots. 98.5%, 98% micronutrients are become stable in the soil, are not taken by the roots, and 50% potash remain in the soil as a toxic garbage particles and become pollutants. Loss of nitrogen create eutrophication of surface water, pollution of the groundwater due to nitrate leaching, global warming due to nitrous oxide emission, decreased plant species diversity in the natural territorial ecosystem, and increased local air pollution by ozone. Many fertilizers, phosphatic fertilizers contain, write down, all maximum fertilizers may be nitrogenous, phosphatic, potassic fertilizers. Specifically, phosphatic fertilizers contains arsenic, cadmium, chromium, mercury, nickel, lead, which are accumulated in the soil and cause long-term effects on the crop yields, quality, and damage the soil microflora. Who has written? agriculture scientist of Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, New Delhi. A big book, Handbook of Agriculture. On the page 78, agriculture scientists are admitting that we are polluting the soil by heavy metals and residues of the fertilizers. Pesticides, 60,000 tons, 60,000 of the ton pesticides are entering the soil environment, Indian environment every year. How much? 60,000 metric ton of the pesticides are coming in the atmosphere by spraying, of which 1/3 used in public health programs and 2/3 in agriculture. Many of pesticides persist in the soil for very long time. Result: cancer, reduced lifespan, fertility, increased cholesterol, high infant mortality, and very metabolic and genetic disorders. Who has written? Agriculture scientist of ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, a big book, that is Handbook of Agriculture, ICAR, page number 79. What we are doing? It is unhuman. Because we have the talent people who are listening my workshops, and we have the target medicine free life. So we should know actually how to avoid this air pollution also. Poison free food, it is the most important, but pollution free air also is most important. Water pollution. Natural organic compounds are coming in the water, drinking water. Tannin, sugars, oil, fats, proteins, resins, minerals, and other living, non-living inclusions are coming in the drinking water. These are called natural organic compounds. What are the sources which are emitting? Food processing industry, distillery, paper and pulp industry, brewery industry, sugar industry, petrochemical industry, petrochemicals, iron and steel manufacturing industry. Number one. Number two, synthetic organic compounds are coming in the drinking water. Phenols, benzene, thinners, solvents, nitrobenzene, polynuclearomatic hydrocarbons, PCBs, polyethylene, and glycerol. These are the pollutants in coming out drinking water. Which are the sources? Synthetic organic chemical manufacturing industries, gas and coke plants, textile industries, vehicle industry, transportation industry, pesticide industry, food processing plants, and painting yards. These are the source. Pesticide and agrochemicals are coming in the drinking water. Residues of the fungicide, residues of the insecticides, herbicides, nematicides, acaricides, bactericides, and growth regulator hormones. These agro-based chemicals and pesticides are coming, residues are coming in the drinking water. Which are the sources? Pesticide manufacturing plants and application of pesticide in intensive agriculture, in chemical agriculture. Even now, biopesticides are also more harmful coming on organic farm. Fourth source of pollution in the drinking water, inorganic chemicals, acids and alkalis, carbonates, chlorides, ammonia, chlorine, sulfate, salt, hydrogen sulfides, nitrates, phosphatic ions, and heavy metals. Other sources: mining industry, paper industry, pulp industry, electroplating, metallurgical chemicals, textile industry, leather industry, gas and coke plants, laundry, fertilizer application, and municipal industrial effluents pesticides also. These are the main sources of the pollutants in our drinking water. Suspended solids are coming in the drinking water. Sources are food processing, leather and paper industries, coal washing in thermal power station plants, municipal sewage, and ceramic and gravel processing plants and mining. 6 pollutant, that is physical soil pollutants: soot, tar, dust, fly ash, cement dust, straw dust, suspended particulate matters. Which are sources? Smelter plants, thermal power plants, cement crusher industries, pesticides, food processing plants, feed threshing machines, mechanical plowing vehicles, tractors. 7 pollutants, 7 types of detergents are coming in the drinking water: municipal and rural sewage, textile industry and laundry. 8 pollutant in the drinking water: color and odor. Source: sewage, night soil treatment plants, leather industries, distillery influents, paints, dye manufacturing factories, chemical pulse, and food processing. 9th pollutants, 9 types of pollutants coming in the drinking water: microbial contaminants, bacteria, pathogenic bacteria, pathogenic funguses, and harmful viruses, sewage, fecal matter in water resources. 10th pollutant, radioactive elements, atomic reactors, research institutions, and medical facilities. All these are coming in the drinking water, and they are polluting highly. Even in the corporations, when they purify the air, drinking water, by bleaching powder and other purifiers, it is found that all these things are not 100% is removed. Residues are coming still in the drinking water. So, Satyo, now you will think that how to avoid these air pollutants and water pollutants. Lancet Planetary Health magazine. Lancet Planetary Health magazine said every year 12.4 lakh people are dying by air pollution. World Health Organization claimed in 2016 in all global megacities, highly polluted megacities, Delhi number one, and 16 cities in India were highly polluted. Now, air is totally polluted by these all pollutants. And when we take the breath, when we take the air inside the lungs, all these pollutants are entering in the lungs, in the respiratory system, and deposited in the lungs and respiratory system. In 1 minute, we take 16 breathing. In 1 minute, we take 16 breathing. That means we are taking this pollutant in the lungs 16 times in a 1 minute. And in 1 year, 84 lakh breathing in 1 year. That means in 1 year, we are taking these air pollutants in the lungs 84 lakh times. And all these pollutants are deposited in our lungs. Lungs are highly damaged. Respiratory system is highly damaged. They become totally unable to work 100%. As a result, our immunity is lost. And when corona viruses enter, there is no any border security force there to restrict. No air force, all are surrendered, and then coronaviruses enter in the nose. First they attack in the nose, then on the throat, the respiratory system. Ultimately, they attack the lungs. Lungs become failure. Oxygen is not available, and we start oxygen cylinders, and ultimately death by corona disease. Nobody is giving the assurance in the Supreme Court. Nobody. No health scientist, no WHO, and no so-called medical scientist is giving assurance in the Supreme Court that human will become corona-free in the future. No. Nobody is giving assurance that after taking allopathic medicines, side effects will not start. But they accept every allopathic medicine are creating side effects. That is body allergy. Nobody is giving assurance in the Supreme Court that after taking 2 doses of the vaccination of the corona, nobody will die with corona again. Nobody can give the assurance. Because vaccination scientists said that how much span you will get the protection from vaccination, maybe 1 year, maybe 1.5 year, maybe 6 months, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Because everybody is under trial. But we have seen after corona, allopathic medicine done their job. World Health Organization and all other medical scientists says there is no medicine on corona. But medicines are given. These medicines are symptomatic medicines to suppress the symptom, not to eradicate the root causes of the disease. No. When we take the allopathic medicine to recover corona patient, 97% patients are recovered by allopathic medicine. No problem. No problem. But post-corona, those who are not having any symptom of diabetes, they are facing blood sugar problem. Those who are not facing blood pressure, hypertension, they are facing hypertension. And doctor said, okay, now you are recovered from corona. Okay, congratulations, but you continue this tablet for blood sugar up to your death and this for high blood pressure. Why? Why? Because side effects will do their job. And last time I have clarified, these side effects means residues of unnatural allopathic medicines. If 740 crore people of the global population will not accept the ultimate truth that human is 100% vegetarian, nobody will become cancer free, corona free, diabetes free, heart attack free. No. No. All the diseases are strictly related with unnatural food, which is not vegetarian food, plant-based food, and unnatural behavior of the human being. Last time we have clarified what is unnatural and natural food. Milk is unnatural food. Create side effects. I will give the list. Natural food and unnatural food. 84 lakhs time In a year, we are taking the breath. Every breathing, we are depositing the pollutants in the lungs. What is the remedy? What is the remedy? Medicine is not remedy. Okay. Allopathic medicine recover the patient. I accept. But created side effects. You have to continue the medicine throughout the lifespan to control the blood sugar and hypertension, high blood pressure. Medicine is not the remedy to cure any disease. No. No. Because there is one law, not the law of Constitution of India. It is a law of the world. Number one, human is 100% vegetarian. The food of human is 100% vegetarian food. Vegetarian food means plant-based food, which are produced on the plant body. That food is perishable. That plant-based food is the human food. The leaves, the fruits, pods, flowers, grains, and tubers. Ayurveda says every plant is medicinal plant having variable quantity of the alkaloids. Maybe somehow more, somehow less. But every plant-based food material, maybe leaves, fruits, pods, flowers, grains, and tubers, are having all nutritional values and also medicinal values. When we eat green leaves, fresh, naturally grown, seasonal, as a salad. When we naturally grown, seasonal, fresh fruits, pods, flowers, we eat medicine. It act as a medicine. And that medicine keep our body away from the diseases. A huge elephant having a huge powerful, can uproot a tree without any exertion, easily. Eating only grass and leaves. No corona, No cancer, no diabetes, not heart attack, no tuberculosis. That means that grass and leaves are acting as a medicine. Our human body accept only plant-based food material as a nutrition, as a medicine simultaneously at the same time. What is the natural? Our intestine accept immediately. It is digested. It digested. No problem is created. But when we eat unnatural, not accepted by our body, because maybe human body, maybe animal body, maybe bird body, maybe plant body does not accept the entrance of external human made unnatural thing in their own body. Human body does not accept any unnatural thing enters in our body. If these unnatural things are enter in our body, they are immediately rejected by the body, intestine of the human, through the urine, through the sweat, and it is not possible to eliminate the residues of these unnatural things are deposited in the human cells as a toxic garbage, and these are the toxins which lose our immunity and we suffer so many side effects. As a medicine, Ayurveda, Sthula Ayurveda, Sushma Ayurveda. Sthula Ayurveda means to eat the leaves, fruits, pods, leaves, tubers as a medicine. It is Sthula Ayurveda. Immediately accepted by body. Immediately. And it acts as a medicine. And our innate immunity become active. Fight with the pathogens. Maybe pathology, bacteria, funguses and viruses. And body becomes safe. Sthula Ayurveda and Sushma Ayurveda means homeopathic medicine. Homeopathy also is Ayurveda. I have given the name Sushma Ayurveda. Nano Ayurveda, nano. Ayurveda, Sthula Ayurveda. We take state medicine, leaves, fruits as a medicine, state. No liquid, no processing, no jadi booty, state. Sthula Ayurveda. And Sushma Ayurveda, that means homeopathy. And when you take Sthula Ayurveda, That means use fruits, flowers, tubers as a medicine. Our body accepts immediately. Alkaloids are released, and those alkaloids are fighting with the pathogens, we become safe. Sthula Ayurveda, homeopathy, when we take the medicine of the homeopathy, same thing is happened. Homeopathy destroys the root causes of the disease, root causes, and our immunity becomes stronger. Throughout the world, Sthula Ayurveda and Sushma Ayurveda are the only remedy, but not alone. Not alone. Not alone. Because we have the target, medicine-free human life. That means no allopathy, no Ayurvedic, no homeopathy also. No medicine, medicine-free life. But in the first stage, we can avoid unnatural medicines. We can accept natural medicines, Sthula Ayurveda, Sushma Ayurveda, that means homeopathy. But allopathic medicines are not natural. Allopathic medicines are unnatural because these are chemicals. Allopathic medicines are not produced on the plant body. Allopathic medicines are not produced on the plant body. So allopathic medicines are not natural. And according to law of the world, unnatural things are not accepted by the human intestine. So allopathic medicines also are not accepted by human intestine. Maybe they do the work. They do the work. But symptoms are not eliminated. Symptoms are not eliminated. Symptoms are suppressed. And these suppressed symptoms are coming on another way, another form, which is called side effects. As a unnatural allopathic medicines and also Ayurvedic Shara. Shar medical practice also a unnatural thing, not happen in the nature, not accepted by human body, create so many side effects. And these side effects are more dangerous than corona. Doctors have warned. We can't claim to the doctor. Doctor, they are safe, they warn. The steroids which are given to patients of the corona may create harmful side effects just like clotting of the blood, heart attack, blood pressure, high BP, and also the diabetes. It has happened. It has happened. They warn us. But they are not having any alternate. What they can do? What they can do? We can't claim that they are bad people. No. They have worked very hardly. No problem. But they are not having the solution, sustainable solution. Unnatural medicine is not the remedy to cure any disease. Again, I would like to repeat, unnatural medicines are not the remedy to cure any disease. These medicines are not eliminating the root causes of the disease. The symptoms are suppressed, and when ball is suppressed, it coming boost with intensify power and speed, just like side effects. So we can't depend upon medicine. Maybe we will eat naturally grown food, poison-free food. But when you take the breath, you damage our lung, liver, respiratory system, pancreas, and also kidneys. So only poisonless food will not save the human being. Simultaneously, we have to work unitedly to minimize the air pollution and water pollution. And that is the real task of this moment. Later on, we will discuss how to purify the drinking water. No problem, we have the remedies. But just now, it is not a time to discuss on the remedies, it is the time to discuss upon the analysis of unnatural human behavior. Only 3 minute break, only 3 minutes. If you want to go to urinary or to drink the water, only 3 minute break. Because I am writing 18 hours in a day. I start to write my new syllabus 5 early morning 5 up to 9 p.m. also. Continuous 18 hours I am writing in 3 languages, English, Hindi, Marathi. And proofreading it is not easy task. And I am 70 years old. So it is my duty to take some 2-3 minute rest, and again we will continue. So 2-3 minute rest only. Yeah, let us continue now. Satyu, you know, when God sent us on the earth, also send the viruses, bacteria, funguses in our body. But all these bacteria, funguses, and viruses will not become harmful to human body. They were symbiotic. Why they become harmful? Why they become violent? Too much violent. Too much violent. Why? Because climate change. Jal Vayu Parivartan. The God had designed the body of viruses, bacteria, funguses, human body. As such, that human body, virus body, bacterial body, fungal body will live without any problem safely to accept the air quality index below 30, to accept carbon dioxide content in the atmosphere below 260 ppm, to accept pure water, transparent water, pollution-free water, pollution-free air, and also has given the assurance that I have given the innate immunity to you at your birth time. That innate immunity will become powerful and active throughout your lifespan. And that innate immunity will save you from pathogenic viruses, pathogenic diseases, bacteria, and fungus. I asked the God, why you have sent these viruses, pathogenic viruses, bacteria, funguses with me? Why? God said, yes, there is a reason. God said, I have sent the possibility of every disease. You may suffer by cancer, diabetes, heart attack, tuberculosis, corona. Yeah, you may suffer. Because the God has engineered specific gene in the DNA for specific disease. Just like oncogene for cancer. God has given the possibility of suffering by cancer, diabetes, heart attack, every disease. Cholera, every. Engineered in the genotype. This oncogene, which is responsible for cancer, When this oncogene becomes recessive, it is slept, not active. You will never suffer by cancer. No, you will not suffer by cancer. No. But when oncogene become dominant, active, you definitely will suffer by cancer. Definitely. Recessiveness and dominancy of the gene related to specific diseases has most important part in the human health. Medicine is not a remedy. Medicine is not a remedy. When we eat unnatural things, we'll discuss later on which are the unnatural things. Not accepted by human body. The residues of these unnatural things are deposited in human cells as a toxic garbage. And these are toxins which finish the supply chain of the immune cells. Ultimately, we lose our innate immunity. And these genes which are responsible for diseases become dominant. Unnatural things. Eating of the unnatural things is straight related to the recessiveness or dominancy of the disease-related genes and suffering by disease. Why God has given this system? I have asked this question to the God. God said, "This is my one law." What God said? There is one law in the constitution of the God. Survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest. Who will be strong? They will survive. And who are weaker? They are not having the right to survive. They have to die. They have to die. Why? I asked this question to God. God said, to control the population. To control the population. A beautiful, fantastic task has been constituted by the God to control the population. I asked this question, why you want to control the population? The God said, what are the natural resources I have given on the earth are not unlimited, are limited. So I want to control the population also in limitation. So I have constituted one law, survival of the fittest. Those who will be stronger, their future generation will become again stronger. What God said, those who are fittest, stronger, their future generation will become again stronger, and race continuity will be continued, biodiversity will be continued. There will be no break of finishing any chain of the biodiversity. But if I will give the assurance to weakest human or weakest plant, those are very too much weak, their future generation will become again weak. And maybe that race will be finished. And biodiversity will become again in danger. So God has given the constitutional amendment, survival of the fittest. There was a severe cyclone in Maharashtra and Saurashtra region of Gujarat in this year, beginning of the rainy season. What we have seen? We have seen those fruit trees, papaya, mango, or your banana, coconut, areca nut, were grown under Subhash Palekar natural farming. In severe cyclone, they are not fallen down. They are not fallen down. But when under chemical farming, grown under chemical farming, they all fallen. Because weakest. In cyclone also, I have visited the coast area from Kerala to West Bengal during my workshops. I have met, I discussed with the old people in coastal region. They accepted. Odisha and northern Andhra Pradesh are susceptible for cyclones every year. Severe cyclones are crossing the border of Odisha and northern Andhra Pradesh. They said, in severe cyclone also, those trees are strongest. They are not fallen down. Those who are weakest, they are fallen down. Why? Because if anybody will sow the seeds of weakest plant, second generation will become again weakest. When we sow the seeds of strongest plant, next generation will become strongest. I have done these trials in my 12-year research span, 1988 to 2000. I have taken the seeds of those cotton plants because Vidarbha in my Amravati is a cotton belt and orange belt. Strongest plant, there was no any damage of the insect attack disease. No, strongest with full ball. I have separated the seed. And I have taken the seeds of those cotton plants which are fully damaged by whitefly and your mealybug, American bollworm, and jacid, aphid, blight. I have taken the seeds of those biggest plants. And those seeds were sown different place. Same Ghana everything was same. Even I have seen when I sown the seeds of strongest plant in second generation, there was no disease and insect attack. But when I have sown in the initial period, when I sown the seeds of weakest plant, in the initial period, there was a severe attack. But when the humus was created in the near the root zone by applying mulching and Jivamrutam, and that humus created resistance power in the plant body, and they become survive. So I have given in my workshops selection of the seed, the process I have given in my workshops, and I will give in the future workshops also. No problem. Survival of the fittest. When we eat naturally grown, fresh, seasonal, plant-based food, natural, poison-free, then our body becomes strongest. Our innate immunity become active. Because when we eat the food of strongest crop, it has a highly concentrated nutritional values and medicinal values. God has designed the virus body, insect body, bacterial body or fungal body or human body to sustain, to accept natural level of air quality index below 30, carbon dioxide content in the atmosphere below 260 to 280 ppm, below, intensity of the solar light 7,000 to 5,000 to 7,000 is the limit. And also, God has given the assurance that dust particles in the air will remain below 100 micron per cubic meter year. Sulfur dioxide proportion well below 10 to 50 micron. Nitrogen oxide well below 1 ppm concentration. Carbon oxides will remain below 5 ppm. And water will be totally pure, transparent. Winter, no influence of summer in the winter. Rainy season, no influence of the summer in the rainy season. No influence of the rainy season in the summer and winter. Every season will become naturals. Huge forest area, and during the cooking, when firewood is burned, and what the carbon is emitted, it was immediately sucked, absorbed by dense forest surround the villages, and the carbon level in the atmosphere 260 ppm was remained sustainable. Body is habitual to accept these natural levels easily. But now, carbon dioxide more than 480 ppm, air quality index more than 700, intensity of the solar light more than 10,000 to 12,000 foot candle, and seasons are finished. We can't find out the summer, winter, and rainy season. In winter, rainy season. In summer, rainy season. In rainy season, in winter, and rainy season in summer. How can accept this climate changes by viral, bacterial, and fungal cells? How? They can't survive. They can't face. They can't adjust to these new changes in the atmosphere, new changes in the environment and climate. They react. And that reaction cause violent viruses, violent bacteria, violent funguses. And when viruses become violent and bacteria become violent, funguses become violent, pathogenic, they start to adjust with these climate changes and natural calamities. But God created designs is become unable to adjust, because all these climate changes are not created by the God, are created by the human being. So viruses are changing their form by internal mutation continuously, and they are creating new forms alpha, beta, delta, delta plus, and all of the new strains, variants of the viruses, even bacteria also. And they attack. First attack on our immunity, second attack on respiratory system, last attack on the lungs. Lungs become failure. We can't get the oxygen and we suffer death. Climate change committed to the viruses, bacteria, funguses to become violent. And what are the greenhouse gases are emitted in the atmosphere, which are responsible for global warming and climate change and natural calamities, are not created by the God, are created by human beings. Scientifically proved it that the corona violent new strains are the result of impact of the climate change, hazardous impact of the climate change. Medicine is not a remedy to cure the corona. We have to stop the emission of the greenhouse gases to restrict the global warming and climate change. That is the real remedy. That is the real remedy. I will give an example. During my childhood, up to fourth standard, I was in my village in Vidarbha, Amravati district. After fifth standard, I came Amravati for education, up to university education. At Amravati, Vidarbha, in April, May, even in the June also, daytime temperature in summer sometimes increase above 48 degrees centigrade. 48, 49, 50, Chandrapur 51, 52. But we are habitual. We are habitual. In 48 degree temperature in summer also, we are working in the farm very easily. Only we have to cover the head and ears by the khadi cloth and holy basil leaves in the pocket and onion in the packet, so that if I will suffer by any hot waves, immediately I can use the onion to take the juice so that I can come out from the sunstroke. That is our ancient medicine, onion. And if while working, if there is a damage to the foot by any residues of the fierce crop, the blood is coming out. So immediately this holy basil, tulsi juice we were adding on that wound, and immediately 1 minute the blood was stopped and wound was recovered. We are habitual for 48, 49 degrees centigrade also in summer to work in the agriculture. We do not have any sunstroke. But when Himachal Pradesh government has called me, sir, we want to organize your huge workshops in entire Himachal Pradesh. Before that, we will take one-day workshop in which Honorable Chief Minister, Agriculture Minister, all ministers and all officers, all collectors will listen you, and then we will organize a huge workshops. Still that I have not visited Himalaya, never. I have not seen what is the severe cold. There was my first workshop at Palampur Agriculture University. When I stepped down on the airport of uh, Dharma, what the name of that airport, Tibetan capital, and severe cold. I was surprised. Evening from aeroplane came out and severe cold. It was not possible to me to adjust this severe cold. Immediately I have bound a muffler and sweater, and so also I was ambling. And when I reached university, there was a firewood and everything was there to save from cold. But second day, I was feeling that something is wrong in my body. I was unable to adjust this cold. And there was no workshop in second day. So I had taken the rest. Vice Chancellor says, sir, you take the rest so that we can adjust. And after taking rest, we will go out and we can face this environmental situation. Okay. Second day evening, I have taken evening walk with Vice Chancellor. Now there were changes to adjust this new cold and started my body. And from third day, I was normal. This sudden change in the climate. I am a human too much high than corona also was unable to adjust this climate change. Corona is so minute. It is not visible under simple microscope. It becomes visible under electron microscope. So minute. On the point of the needle, 10 lakh corona will sit very fantastically. So minute. How they will adjust this climate change? How? No. They become violent and they attack our immunity and lungs. So it is very essential to fight with corona through the battle against climate change and global warming. Otherwise, it is not possible to keep our body away from the corona crisis, diabetes, cancer, heart attack, tuberculosis, and all other deathful diseases. Satyu, What is this climate change? What is this global warming? If global warming and climate change is state related with human health, it becomes our commitment to know about what are the hazardous impact of the climate change, global warming on human health. Because we have the target medicine-free human life. Medicine-free human life. When the sunlight is coming on the earth, sunlight is not coming only with the solar energy. Through the sunlight, solar energy is coming in the form of photon particles. But simultaneously, with the solar energy, some ultraviolet rays are coming on the earth. From cosmos, so many radioactive radiations are coming continuously on the earth. And I have clarified these radioactive radiations and ultraviolet rays are the highly dangerous for our environment and human health. When the ultraviolet rays are coming with the sunlight, and when they are fallen on human body, due to ultraviolet rays impact, अति नील किरण, genotype in the DNA is changed. Genes are replaced. And our immunity is lost. There are severe changes in the ovules of the women and sperms of the men. The population of the sperm is decreased. Ovules are not coming through the fallopian tube. Fallopian tube are closed. Due to short proportion of sperms in male semen, sperms are not fertilized. Impotency and infertility is increased. In the body, dramatic changes are happened because these are the heavy, harmful radiations. Just I have clarified. The monthly course for girl we started above 16 years, not below 16 years. No, that is the natural level. Now, 10-year maximum girls are facing monthly course problem immediately. This is unnatural. ये अनहोनी है, अनबिलीवेबल, ये अविश्वसनीय है. And even ability of human body to adjust with natural calamities and climate change is reduced. We can't face severe cold. Immediately body is reacted by symptoms of cold, bronchitis, asthma. Our body cannot adjust with higher intensity of the solar light. There was no sunstroke. Now we suffer by sunstroke. When resistance power is reduced, declined, ultimately we face diseases. Life longevity is reduced, lifespan is reduced. Aging is happened. In the 18-year-old youth, they have goggles, they have glasses, and here, white, 18-year-old. Very severe problem. It is not an easy problem. Don't take as easy. Yes, maybe decision makers, policy makers, don't take easy this climate change. Even this ultraviolet rays and harmful radiations damage the capacity of the kidneys, lungs, pancreas, and capacity to neutralize the unnecessary components in the body. And we can't survive without medicine. Every state, there are so many doctors and hospitals fully flown by the patients every day. Nobody, we can say, everybody is taking the medicine. Everybody, every day. When these radiations and ultraviolet rays are coming on the plant body, they disturb the mechanism of the stomata. The guard cells cover the stomata. Guard cell open and close the stomata. But due to these incoming radiations, guard cell lose the decision-making capacity. And stomata are opened. They are not closed. Or closed, they are not open. Damage photosynthetic process highly. lose the immunity of plant body, change the genetic structure of the plant body, because the radiations straight continuously, they are attacking the body through the sunlight. We lose the immunity of the crops. Crop face so many diseases and insect attack severely. As a result, photosynthesis process is suffered in large scale. Even during photosynthesis, when carbon and water is combined together, hydrolysis process, carbohydrates are created, and carbohydrates are combined with the nitrogen, amino acids are created. This process of the development of the amino acids is disturbed. Everything is disturbed. And we lose our production capacity. These ultraviolet rays and radioactive radiations coming from cosmos God has designed this earth very fantastically. What God has done? God has done an provision that on the earth atmosphere, upon the atmosphere, God has created another layer, that is ozone layer. Ozone layer. To protect the earth, to protect the human body, plant body, animal body, insect body, and viruses, bacteria, all these living beings from incoming radiations and ultraviolet rays. What ozone layer do? When the sunlight is coming from the sun, when the radiations and cosmic energy coming from the cosmos, this ozone layer, border security force of the earth, absorb these ultraviolet rays, absorb the radiations, filter the sunlight, radiation free, ultraviolet rays free, and pure sunlight is sent to the earth by the ozone layer. That means ozone layer is the fantastic, marvelous border security force created by the God. Fantastic. So we become safe from the attack of radiations and ultraviolet rays. We become safe. But afterward, scientists saw that with sunlight, radiations are coming, ultraviolet rays are coming. It was not happened in the past because ozone layer was absorbing these enemies. Enemies were defeated and sunlight was become very free of radiations and this ultraviolet rays. But we are seeing ultraviolet rays coming, radiations are coming. They have a doubt. That means something wrong with the ozone. If the radiations are coming straight, ultraviolet rays coming are straight on the earth, that means ozone layer is not doing its job. Something is wrong. There was a huge discussion in the media and the scientific area. Ultimately, the United Nations organization constituted one body, international body, IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. It was an international body. Committee was constituted by United Nations organization under the chairmanship of Dr. Rajendra Pachuri, Indian scientist, to find out why these radiations are coming, why these ultraviolet rays are coming, why ozone is permitting to go forward to the radiations and ultraviolet rays. What is the fact? And that committee was the fact-finding committee. That committee started the work. The first report they published that some gases are responsible for destruction of the ozone. In our human activities, so-called development, human development, we are emitting so many gases which actually destroy the ozone. And then they started to find out which are these gases. They found there are so many gases which are responsible for the destruction of the ozone, but main are four: carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, and chlorofluorocarbon. Scientific area assured that there are so many greenhouse gases, including these four and other water vapor also, which are responsible for destruction of the ozone, and they have given the name to these gases, greenhouse gases, GHG, because this impact as like greenhouse. And then the huge gossip was started in media throughout the world how to restrict the emission of these greenhouse gases: carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbon. Afterward, they started to find out the alternative of chlorofluorocarbon. And they discovered new chlorofluorocarbon, hydrochlorofluorocarbon, HCFC. And later on, they found that it is more harmful than CFC, original CFC, chlorofluorocarbon. When you challenge the God, you are entering in the trap. and that trap will finish you. This is the message of the God. What are the sources of these greenhouse gases? Carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, and how we can stop these sources of the greenhouse gases so that we can restrict the climate change, so that the coronaviruses, pathogenic bacteria will not become the violent, and our body will not become the victim of these rare diseases. We'll discuss after half an hour rest period. Within half an hour, you can go to latrine, you can take the tea, or you can take the refreshment, or sister and mother will take the initial preparation of the evening cooking, and exact 5 p.m. we will restart. Thank you very much. Thank you. Amit? Half an hour.